The Citizen Report is a production of New Shannon Media. All content protected under copyright.
And welcome to the Citizen Report. I'm Jonathan Shannon, and thank you for joining me tonight. As always, this newscast is real, in-depth American. So good to be with you as always. My co-host David Heller is off tonight. Well, first, before I get to anything else, I just wanted to quickly touch on the hurricane that struck Louisiana. And of course, it dissipated in its long history now. The forecast for the storm surge along the coast there was upward. It could have reached 20 feet, but it appeared as though, and this is what I'm hearing, and I'm not. This is not personal knowledge, but it would appear as though the hurricane made the slightest turn, just so much so that it allowed it to basically avert, if you will, the full magnitude of the forecast storm surge. And I hear upwards of 8 feet. It could be a little higher than that, but certainly any good news, and all that's relative because any storm surge is bad. But 8 feet versus say 20 feet is definitely a significant difference. So certainly we're grateful for that. And of course, people in Lake Charles and the surrounding areas are going to be recovering for a long time. And of course, we'll keep watching how things develop with their recovery down there. Well, I wanted to turn draw your attention, that is, to something that happened to me today. I was at a Walmart store in South Carolina. I live in North Carolina. I like it when I go to Walmart Supercenter. I like to go to the one just over the state line in the Lake Wylie area. And I hadn't been there since they had instituted the mask mandate, but I went today. And I'm just going to show you this video here. If I can share my screen real quick, I'm going to do that. You'll have to bear with me one moment, but as I get it up, I'll give you a quick backstory of this. So basically what happened was I was in the automotive department of the store, and I noticed that there was this thing roaming around, and there was a worker, but the worker was stocking shelves and didn't appear to have any direct involvement with the machine. And this machine was just going around on its own. And mind you, and I'll just say it again one more time, I have not been to a Walmart before today in over a month. And considering that I grew up in Walmart country, that is to say Northwest Arkansas, that's pretty unusual for me. So, but wow, what a difference a month can make, because now look at this. I mean, I'm just going to share my screen here. And just to say, this is basically, you're going to basically see a robot, and an autonomous device, a large one that is, that will stop for traffic or people. And it appears to be doing something to the floor. Not sure if it's disinfecting it or doing something. Certainly it might be cleaning the floor, but I'm not even sure of that, but it would be my presumption of such. But I'm going to just briefly play this for you. Let's see if I can. I'm just going to do that. Let me see if I can make this just a little bit bigger. Hopefully this doesn't impact the quality. So it stopped for me, and then it started to go again. And of course, this computer is lagging quite a bit right now. The wonders of technology. But just to say, let me play it for you again. Let me play this for you one more time. So basically, as I said, there's this big thing coming down the aisle, and I'm in its way, and it basically comes to a stop, basically. And then it resumes its trek. And notice there is nobody there. At the time I was recording this, as best as I could remember, there was nobody in that immediate aisle where I was. Clearly from that tape, you can see that too. And this is just absolutely incredible to watch this. So, and you might be wondering why I would bring this up. Well, there's a number of reasons, but one of the main reasons, if you will, is that I think we're watching as COVID-19, this ridiculous continued response, everyone acting like they're gonna fall over and die or something. Um, and mind you, I'm not trying to sound insensitive. I actually have a good friend of mine who has been potentially exposed to someone with that, and he's not in the United States, he's in another country, and he's actually having to quarantine in a hospital. And I just learned about that in the last day or so, last day or two certainly. And I'm not saying that those who are dealing with it, I'm not trying to sound insensitive, but what I'm saying is that, these governments that continue to force businesses to be closed, and, the continued mask mandates and the continued disruption of life where it's not necessary. And as we're seeing this, we're basically being distracted, because what you're really just saw right there, hopefully, and again, it won't be until post-production I know for sure whether or not it showed up or not, but hopefully it did. But if you saw what I was trying to show you on tape, that was a robot, and that could have been somebody's job right there. And to think that it's, a robot doesn't need to be paid. I'm not, I don't know if that job existed before, but, assuming it did, I mean, that's the thing. We're trending in this direction, and people are being distracted by all kinds of things. And while we're being distracted, they're doing things like that. They're getting rid of people's jobs and going to being automated, robots. And it's just, I think it just tells us what kind of times we live in to see that. So I just wanted you to be aware of that, one of just a myriad of things that we're being distracted away, our attention's being turned away from, when we should be paying close attention to what's going on in a number of areas, including this, where, these big companies want to get rid of people's jobs and go to robots. I mean, I know before today, I knew for a fact that, and this was many weeks ago now that I read this, that Walmart wanted to, and I'm not just singling out Walmart. Walmart was where I happened to be at today, but I guarantee you stuff like this takes place at other places. But this is what I personally witnessed, what you saw on tape. But I know for a fact, going back many weeks ago at least, that Walmart was looking to get rid of all cashiers pretty much. And I believe it was in Northwest Arkansas somewhere near their corporate headquarters, somewhere at one of their closest store locations to that. And I forget the exact scope, but I think they said something to the effect of that they'll still have some kind of option, but I forget exactly. But just to say, we're seeing this overwhelming trend away from people having jobs towards being automated. And these big companies are just going all in for that. And as we continue to be distracted, this is the kind of stuff they're going to try to shove through. And I think people need to be aware of this. I know what I just talked about isn't political, but I think it's important that, even if it seems rather insignificant on the surface, I think it's important that people understand and pay attention to these things, because it will continue this trend could very likely continue, and we would probably be unwise to to think otherwise of it. So that's all on that topic. But let me move on. I wanted to do something, like headlines, and today, as you can tell, there's not not too much on the plate here tonight, but I wanted to come on here and do this and do a regular broadcast, do a regular episode of the Citizen Report. So let's do some headlines from courtesy of johnbwellsnews.com. I'm not affiliated with that website, but I believe it's a good website. John B. Wells is a phenomenal broadcaster, a very talented broadcaster, a Christian, and he and his team developed an alternative to the Drudge Report, and I think it's a pretty good alternative if you ask me. So let me share my screen if I can. Take me just a second here. You have to bear with me. All right, here we go. So johnbwellsnews.com now. Let's just go through these headlines a little bit, shall we? All right, here we go. Antifa suspect accused of shooting Trump supporter in Portland killed during arrest. Well, I guess that's one less person that the justice system has to sort through, right? I mean, here they are wanting to do violence against us. I mean, I can't say I feel too sorry for them beyond just the general fact that that's a person's life, a person's soul there. Let's keep going here. A survivor of Chinese communism has a warning for SJWs, that's social justice warriors, and cancel culture mobs. Police. Colorado woman assaults preteen over pro-Trump lawn sign. What? Colorado woman assaults preteen over pro-Trump lawn sign. There's absolutely nothing no line these people won't cross. I mean, give me a break. You're going to assault a minor because he has a different political viewpoint than you? Are you kidding me? And according to this, is 12 years old. I mean, the guy isn't quite a teen. Oh boy, that's just ridiculous. Twitter locks account of Kyle Rittenhouse's attorney, John Pierce. Oh, let me tell you something. Twitter and Facebook have it coming to them. I'm telling you, these people are just digging themselves a deeper hole the further they go with the censorship. I heard that, just as a quick side note, I saw something where Facebook is now going to amend their terms of service legally on October 1st to basically say that we can do anything we want to content that we think will be counterintuitive to their legal, like if they think there could be a legal issue, I guess. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure. I forget exactly what words they use, but clearly they're just trying to use overgeneralized terms to try to make it so everyone can get censored that they object to, and they're trying to give an out for themselves on having to respect the First Amendment. So as I said, Twitter and Facebook have it coming to them because they can't just tear up the Constitution like that. They just cannot do that. Let's keep going. Portland rioters arrested after attacking sheriff's office. Yeah, that's kind of stupid. You're going to attack a sheriff's office? Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of a duh to get arrested for doing that. That's really just stupid. That the rioters thought they could get away with that. But of course, we know that the Antifa, Black Lives Matter, and such, they're the mercenary domestic paid armies of the deep state. I mean, we know that. They're just completely ridiculous. Let's keep going. This is fraud. 10% of reported COVID-19 deaths for those under 35, as reported by the CDC, are due to poisoning, trauma, and unintentional injuries. I'm telling you, folks, their house of cards is coming down on all this. Propaganda looks nice and shiny, nice and slick at the beginning, but at the end of the day, when the truth comes out on the propaganda, their propaganda just crumbles. It just does. And we're seeing that in real time. The COVID-19 pandemic is ending. Well, yeah. I mean, it's basically what? Burning itself out, the virus. Trump forces Representative Ilhan Omar into revealing her true colors on Muslim matters. Yeah, I mean, isn't she the woman that said, about 9/11, that is, some people did something? Some people did something? Are you kidding me? I mean, really? Some people did something. Yes, some people flew planes into Twin Towers. I mean, that's not even funny. It's just, it's just what, if anything's funny, I guess, it's just how ridiculous they are in how they tried to, I don't know, I guess, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for, how they're trying to spin stuff. I mean, it's completely absurd. It really is. Oh my gosh. DNC refutes years-old Donna Brazile claim about email hack timeline. See, I mean, that's the thing. They kept talking about Russian Gate, and now it's completely, I mean, nobody believes in their Russia stuff anymore. I mean, it was absurd to begin with, trying to say that Trump is a Russian agent. I mean, give me a break. Ignore mainstream media. Walk away from Democrat hate. Vote in person. Let's go to page 2 here. I'm not sure how much further I'll go with this, but we'll just keep rolling here a little bit. Might go to a different website as well, just to kind of get a a few more headlines in as well before the end of the broadcast. The Lancet rules Russian COVID-19 vaccine safe and effective. I'm not getting a vaccine. I don't think you should either. I mean, it's everyone's choice to make, but I'm personally not taking it. I heard today that there's some people out there wanting to literally pay people. They're floating the idea of paying people like $1,000 or something to take the vaccine. First of all, my life is not worth $1,000. You cannot put a value on my life with any kind of material, let alone fiat money. I'm just not taking it. Sorry, not happening. Breaking. New Hampshire man arrested for voting twice in 2016 election after Project Veritas presents evidence to Attorney General's office. U.S. court vindicates Snowden leaks, rules NSA mass surveillance illegal, and officials lied. Air Force veteran quits job after being told he could not wear American flag face mask. I fought for this flag. You know, I saw that on Facebook the other day. I think he's a former broadcaster too, and he's most recently, until just, I guess, just now, or just very, very, days ago, worked at a Food Lion. And for some reason, they decided that it was not appropriate for him to wear an American flag mask. Well, first of all, I don't, I mean, what can you even say to this? I mean, this is, I mean, it's not even political. And this just shows you how far left that these Democrat people have gotten. They're now trying to make the American flag, not just Democrats, but I mean, any of those of the deep state, they're trying to make the American flag into a political sign. I'm sorry, but no, it's not. It's our flag. Are you kidding me? I mean, I don't even know what to say. That's just absurd. But God bless him for holding the line on that, because people need to stand up and say no. It stops here. We're not going to be ashamed for wanting to fly our flag in any manner of which we choose to, as one nation under God. It's just, I mean, at what point are we going to say enough is enough? I mean, it's incredible. And I believe this was right here in North Carolina too, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, I tell you what, North Carolina's sure got enough on its plate right now with our governor and everything else. I mean, wow. A lot going on here for sure. India on the cusp of passing Brazil as world's second biggest COVID-19 outbreak. Live updates. Okay, so what? So what? I mean, how many of those are asymptomatic? And by the way, if you're asymptomatic, doesn't that kind of mean you're not really sick? Even if you're positive, but you're not showing symptoms, doesn't that kind of suggest you're not really sick? I mean, I'm just asking. Living off the grid, how to generate your own electricity. New jobless claims fall to lowest level since mid-March. See, the economy is recovering. The deep state wants you thinking otherwise, but it's coming back. These Democrat states are trying to do what they can to stop it, but uh, the economy is revving back up. It just is. And if you look at a state like South Dakota, they're just seems to me they're in a really, really good position right now. They have that just wonderful governor. Oh, and by the way, did y'all see the Republican National Convention? I mean, wasn't that a phenomenal number of speeches? I mean, you've got a whole bunch. They were just all class acts. Kimberly Guilfoyle, of course, Governor Kristi Noem of South Dakota. You got that guy running for, I think, congressman in one of the districts, the district out west in North Carolina. He's partially, I think, paralyzed, and he's 25, I think, or something like that. Not much older than me, certainly relative to my age at this point, almost. It's just, they were just all class acts, every one of them. Donald Trump Jr., Donald Trump himself. I mean, they were all just, I mean, it was just, but if you look at the Democrat Party, it was all hate. It was all, I mean, did y'all see Michelle Obama? I mean, it was like she was threatening America that if we don't vote for them, things could get much, much worse. Yeah. I wonder how so. Maybe it's because they want to make it worse if they don't get their way. And it may have a double meaning to that. It could mean that she's alluding to all the indictments coming down the pike for them, treason and such. Let's keep going here. The real threat to U.S. elections doesn't come from Beijing or Moscow. Yeah, I bet it comes from the deep state right here in our own backyard, as in Washington, D.C. Let's keep going here, at least a little bit more. Orwellian, pregnant Australian woman arrested for promoting anti-lock protests on Facebook. I mean, if that doesn't tell you the mentality of these tyrants that want to control your life and tell you that you have to wear a mask, that you have to be socially distancing, you can't work a certain, you can't, you can buy groceries but you can't go to church. It's just, I mean, these tyrants are just they're just beyond the pale insane. And it just demonstrates that they're control freaks. CDC and Fauci confirm COVID-19 scamdemic was a hoax. People who reject face masks more likely to be psychopaths study. I mean, are you kidding me? Or sociopaths, I should say, sociopaths. Are you serious? I mean, and again, this is a news aggregate site. This is obviously not them saying it. They're just sharing an article. It just goes to show the mainstream media will not stop at anything to try to smear those that try to stand up for people's rights. Oh, and look at here. There's Fredo's brother, Governor Cuomo. The governor of New York State, he's walking around clearly without a mask on. Yeah, apparently that's fine for him. Masks for thee, but not for me. I mean, it's just ludicrous. Oh yeah, yeah. I almost forgot this. Let me make this bigger here. Have y'all seen this? This is Nancy Pelosi inside of a hair salon in San Francisco, and doesn't have her mask pulled up over her nose. Clearly, kind of looks like it's kind of questionable whether she even has one on. It might be around her neck. I'm not quite sure from that angle, but she clearly doesn't have it over her nose. And by the way, apparently you can't even have a salon open in that area, at least at the time she was there. I mean, these people are such hypocrites. They're such hypocrites. And then you have like Joe Biden wanting to mandate masks nationwide. Well, you and I both know that that's just more hypocrisy. You know, cameras on, masks on, cameras off, masks off. If they think cameras are off, if they think cameras are off, at least. I mean, how ridiculous. A few more headlines. School threatens to exclude students who make jokes about coronavirus. Who make jokes about coronavirus? So wait, now you can't have freedom of speech? Well, isn't it kind of a given that the Constitution isn't really needed for speech that's widely respected? It's kind of important. Well, it matters for all speech, but I'm saying that mass or the speech that's offensive to one class of people, that's where the Constitution applies the most, because it's the Constitution that protects it, right? Of course, it matters for all speech, but I'm just saying. But apparently, the Constitution is lost on these people, these school leaders. I have said it before. I'm going to say it again. If you are dealing with, I'm not saying everybody necessarily, but if you're in a school district that wants to be control freaks, pull your kid out. Pull your kid out and homeschool them. If you can homeschool yourself, maybe find a few like-minded parents that you can network with. I'm telling you, it can absolutely be done. And even if you have a job, you can come home and teach your child in the evening. It doesn't have to be an 8 to 3 or 9 to 4. It doesn't have to be a traditional school hour period, if you know what I mean. It's complete. These school districts have gotten money for so long. They just think they have it made in the shade and they can do whatever the heck they want. Well, let's prove them wrong, okay? If you see the need to. And by the way, you really shouldn't be having your child in there anyway, because they're probably being taught evolution and such, or at least they're not being taught the creationist, biblical worldview that they should be taught. And if you're not homeschooling them, at least look at a Christian school or something. Maybe ask if your church has some kind of thing that they can do. I don't know. There's a whole litany of things you can do. You just have to kind of look around and maybe ask some questions, or maybe be the one to be the change you want to see in the world, right? Well, let's keep going here. Video. UMIC, I assume that means University of Michigan. TAs, I guess that means teacher assistants, hold die-in to protest university reopening amid COVID. Well, you know what? If they don't want to go to school, just stay at home and let somebody else take the job. Just saying. COVID. Increased departure from sound doctrine has taken its toll on believers' churches. Google and Apple working together to modify phones for contact tracing. Santa Clara pastor vows to keep holding indoor church service despite $52,000 in fines. So he's been fined $52,000 for holding indoor services. I mean, these people have no, and by these people, I'm referring to the tyrants, the government. They have no respect for the rule of law. They have no respect for the Constitution. And churches are exempt from, are immune to restrictions to begin with. The Constitution mandates it, and frankly, a church is an established body anyway. It predates the government of the United States. It just is. It just is. Oh my gosh. It's just I just hope California is waking up, and I am hearing a lot of people are waking up. It's really good to see that that there are a lot of people waking up. That's for sure. Farm murders. MPs want government to step up as attacks spike. South Africa, local and international calls to reopen SA borders. Japan considers offering free COVID-19 vaccines to all residents. Pardon me. Dr. Fauci says COVID vaccine by November, not likely. Spain rejects lockdown as Europe falters. Live updates. See, it just tells you what a clown this Fauci guy is. He's a complete clown. I think he's probably got. I think this guy behind closed doors, he knows his time is pretty much over now. His 15 minutes of fame is just about over, and it's about time for him to get off the stage. And I'm putting it mildly because I'm hearing a lot of things about him regarding legalities and such, but I won't get into that because I don't know for certain on that just yet. Let's keep going a little bit more here. The deadly truth about lockdowns and masking policies. Ontario woman kicked out of bingo hall for not using mask to cover breathing hole in her neck. Okay, so I assume she's got literally something, an opening artificially made here and it looks like from the picture that is what we're talking about. See, that's the thing. And of course, that would be Canada, not here. But it's like, don't these people at least purport to have medical exemptions? Of course, actually, we're all supposed to be exempt if we claim the right to breathe freely. Oh my gosh, it's just unbelievable. Hope everything turns out well for her. Zimbabwe says foreign white farmers can apply to get back seized land. Woman assaults 12-year-old boy in Boulder over Trump yard sign, police say. What is shocking about released FBI 302 on Joseph Mifsud is not only what's in it, but what's not. Russia, Italy, etc. All right, I think I'll stop there. Let's go to the Gateway Pundit now. I thought about doing that here. I think it'd be good, kind of a good change of pace here. I don't know if we ever covered anything from their site before here on the Citizen Report, but I think they a lot of times have some pretty good content and occasionally kind of entertaining stuff as well. So let's do a few of those here before I sign off. Sharing my screen here again. Let's do that. Thegatewaypundit.com. And of course, it's taking just a bit to load here. You'll have to bear with me. It's almost up now. Well, okay. Well, it's clearly not all headlines are loaded here, or maybe not, at least not correctly. But I'll try to get a few in here that's loaded at least that I can read here. Going viral. Washington State Patrol rips Black Lives Matter militant out of vehicle for illegally blocking traffic on highway. It begins. Black Lives Matter rioters destroy restaurants, then start climbing on people's homes. They're so peaceful, aren't they? They're just so peaceful. Fed up salon owner slam Nancy Pelosi for shutdown hypocrisy. I am now pro-Trump all the way. So Nancy did the exact opposite of what she intended to do, I'm sure. Now she's made the salon owner be pro-Trump. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Americans are being scammed. Democrats pushed mail-in voting. Ballot harvesting and foreigners voting back in January 2019, more than a year before China coronavirus. Rochester Black Lives Matter rioters storming restaurants, breaking glass, flipping tables, screaming at frightened diners. They're just so peaceful, aren't they? Insane Fed chief Jerome Powell now claims to be a COVID expert, lectures on wearing masks to ensure an economic recovery. Isn't that just something, how they can just tell us, they can give medical advice to all of us, thinking that they think they have all the facts about all of our individual health, issues or health matters, whatever have you. And they want to pretend as though they have the ability to prescribe something to us, prescribe a directive. It's just absurd. Update: Atlantic's Jeffrey Goldberg's hit piece on President Trump is garbage. FOIA documents and even John Bolton debunked junk report. They tried to claim, I believe this is referring to the Atlantic's piece. I saw the headline, or it's not even worth being called a headline, but the title, if you will, of their little piece claimed that Trump said that prisoners of war, I think he said people who died in war, something to that effect, having to do with war, were losers or something. I mean, it's completely ridiculous. Clear propaganda. Clear propaganda. I think that's all I need to say on that. Science. Fake news. Washington Post reports 90-something% of Black Lives Matter rioters were peaceful. The other 10% burned down half the country. Yeah, it's probably more like the opposite. It's probably more like 90% were violent, 10% were peaceful, and the 10% are just brainwashed, quite frankly. Tennessee woman who died in February gets a letter saying she tested positive for COVID-19 from a test taken in June. Okay, if that doesn't tell you something about these numbers, I don't know what will. And I'll tell you, if for every one of these things we see having to, where there's these fake positives, COVID results, there's probably hundreds. I don't know, but I imagine there is a ton of these that we don't even know about, at least not yet. New World Order. Australia begins arresting citizens posting non-approved COVID talking points. Ohio passes order to create corona shelters. Dr. Fauci claims sky is falling. See, this is what happens when a country gives up its guns, is that you now have a country that's willing to do it, is able to get away with this with its citizenry. Wow. Joe Biden tells his staff to call on reporters because he doesn't have his list with him. Doesn't have his list with him. Doesn't have his list with him. Oh my gosh. He can't just point to somebody and have them identify their name and who they're with or whatever. Oh my gosh. That is insane. That is just incredible right there. That's some good stuff right there. President Trump shreds reporters for asking Biden softball questions during Delaware event. Those questions were meant for a child. Wow. That's good. That's some good stuff right there. Facebook bans Patriot Prayer 6 days after one of their members was executed by Antifa. Antifa is so peaceful, aren't they? That's what the media would have you believe. Mainstream media, that is. At least on the network level. The streets of our cities are safer with this violent agitator removed. Bill Barr releases statement on tracking down of Antifa killer Michael Rianal. I'm here to talk about Kosovo and Serbia. I don't know if you can find it on a map. Wow. Rick Grenell brings the fire to White House press room. Biden has a serious problem among Florida Hispanic voters. Biden is 11 points lower than what Hillary Clinton received in 2016 exit polls. More BS exposed. Florida's youngest coronavirus victim died from bilateral pulmonary edema and internal hemorrhages, not the corona. Watch, man claims to have found huge Portland Antifa compound. Ooh, yeah. Interesting. Unbelievable. Joe Biden reads end of what? unbelievable. Joe Biden reads end of quote. I mean, literally those words, end of quote, after reading his Social Security speech off a teleprompter. Oh my gosh, I have got to play this. I haven't seen this for myself. This is the first I'm hearing of this one. Oh my gosh. Let's see if I can get this up for you real quick here. I do need to wrap up here, but let me try to get this. Let me try to get this up. I don't know how long it'll take for this to load. I hope I can play it though. All right. If it's on a teleprompter, he's going to read it. He needs a better staff. You think? Oh my gosh. Yeah. Let me try to play this for you. I don't know how reliable this video player is, but I'm going to try. This is just incredible. This is just incredible to watch. Okay, it's having, I don't know if it's going to play or not. Let me, I'd like to be able to play this, but you know, just reading that headline was hilarious enough. Can you imagine? I mean, if we can even hear that, if I'm able to play for this, that'd be pretty funny. Well, this thing doesn't like to. I don't know why this thing is acting up. Okay, there we go. Maybe. Not quite sure what this is. Oh wait. You know something, that wasn't even it. Here's the video. There we go. There's our video.
To fund Social Security and eliminate Obamacare in the middle of a pandemic. End of quote.
End of quote. There it is. There it is. Let's play it one more time.
To fund Social Security and eliminate Obamacare in the middle of a pandemic. End of quote.
End of quote. So he literally says end of quote after that. Oh my gosh. That is just ridiculous. Biden botches dramatic line as reporters ask him softball questions during Delaware campaign event. Crazy San Francisco mayor London Breed blames dictator Trump for Pelosi breaking rules and getting a salon blowout. Oh, so she's blaming Trump because Pelosi went to get her hair done? Oh boy. Oh my goodness, I had no idea there would be this much good material on this website. I would have started with this website if I had known. America's Law and Order president, Fraternal Order of Police, nation's largest police union, unanimously endorses Trump for president. Well, good for them, and they should. Absolutely. Good for them. Creepy Bill Gates invests $250 million into media so he gets better coverage on his multiple dose corona vaccine he wants to give to every person on the planet. What? This guy's a psychopath. This guy's a straight up psychopath. Just saying. I mean, are we even looking at Bill Gates, by the way? If Nikki's watching out there, I'd be curious what she has to say about this, because I've heard things that this isn't even really Bill Gates. This is actually someone else pretending to be Bill Gates, but I have no idea on that. But either way, this is insane. Wanting to giving $250 million to the media. Isn't that kind of a conflict of interest on these mainstream media outlets? Whoever it is, I don't know what they mean by media, but whoever it is, wow. Here is the weirdest part of Biden's Kenosha town hall everyone is talking about video. COVID on campus, in nearly 5,000 cases identified, none hospitalized, 0 deaths. It's time to play football, Big Ten. Huge numbers. Trump approval surges to 52%. Black voter approval jumps to 45% in race against Joe Biden. Jobs, jobs, jobs. The Trump recovery is the greatest recovery ever. Unemployment drops nearly 2% to 8.4%. Happy Labor Day, United States of America. Despite outstanding charges and an unpaid fine, Portland killer Renault was set free by Judge Amy M. Baggio when arrested a month ago, and now 2 men are dead. Joe Biden rewrites history, tells Wisconsin audience a black guy invented the light bulb. What? Well, first of all, he needs to take off that mask because that's probably impacting his ability for his brain to think straight. Just saying. Oh my gosh. Do we dare go to the second page, or should I stop right here? Let me do a few more. Let's do a few more. I actually think this is good. This is good. This is pretty entertaining stuff. I hope you're enjoying this, by the way. Going viral. Washington State Patrol. Oh wait. I think I read that one. Okay, there we go. Meet Karen Giorno, the woman behind Laura Loomer's stunning GOP primary upset. First photos and video. Antifa killer Michael Reynolds shot dead in Washington State. U.S. Marshals attempt to revive him. The Atlantic Post ridiculous hit piece on President Trump and his treatment of veterans. President Trump responds to junk report. Laughable. MSNBC host blames Trump supporters for the violence in Portland. Wow. MSNBC is just really something, aren't they? With all their propaganda and Russia collusion delusion. Breaking. Alleged Antifa murderer Michael Reynolds shot dead by law enforcement in Washington State. With no enthusiasm, tiny events, and a horrible candidate, Democrats appear to be going for the steal. Portland rioter arrested for double murder 1 week after city officials let him off for interfering with police at downtown protests. Republicans call on Attorney General Barr to determine whether Pelosi broke federal law when she ripped up Trump's State of the Union speech. Well, of course she did. She did. That's public record. She just destroyed federal public record. I mean, she's stupid. What an idiot. Well, I'm going to tear up the speech. I'm just going to tear it up. I'm just a tough cookie. I'm just going to tear it all up. Yeah, I might land you in jail for that, lady. Tearing up a speech? Really? She couldn't. I mean, she wasn't even smart enough to make her own copy of it or something. If she was going to do that disgusting spectacle at the State of the Union, she was too dumb to actually just make her own copy, because by actually tearing up her copy, as in her office's copy, that is to say, her the office she currently holds that belongs to we the people. She just happens to be holding that office right now of Speaker of the House. She tore up our records, the people's record, as to her office, at least. White House Jewish, I don't know why I started off like that. White House. Oh my gosh. Let me begin again on this one. White Jewish lady admits she's pretending to be black her entire career as a university professor in Black history. Okay. I don't quite know what to make of that one. Thousands of supporters watch President Trump's Pennsylvania rally from overflow lot. Oh, but somehow Biden is way ahead of him, isn't he? I mean, look. They lied on the polls for Hillary in 2016, and they're doing the same thing right now. I mean, the media is just too stupid to figure out that we're onto them. and Romney will team up with. Now, this just tells you what a rhino the Romney Mitt Romney and apparently his wife. I think that's his wife, right? That just tells you what all you need to know here about them. And Romney will team up with Michelle Obama and Hollywood liberals in comedy special to get out the vote. Yeah. Yeah, I think Mitt Romney's 15 minutes of fame are over now. Just saying. Killer Cuomo's New York says it won't respond to requests on COVID-19 nursing home deaths until after November election. Well, of course, because COVID-19 will be a thing of history. But they'll drop it like a hot potato after the election, right? And of course, he, thanks to this guy, the governor of New York, they just had that wonderful policy about nursing homes. Putting people in nursing homes that should not have been there. I had no choice. Antifa militant gives interview to Vice News 5 days after he murders Portland Trump supporter. Still no arrest or charges. Isn't he the guy that I just talked about being killed? I don't know. I think that was the same picture, same guy. Anyways, breaking. Hairstylists hold hairdryer protests after Pelosi's home, outside Pelosi's home. Hang curlers from the tree. Oh boy, Pelosi just didn't know what she was asking for. Yeah, that's quite interesting. Trump dunks on crazy Nancy after she gets set up and tricked by salon owner. Oh yeah, she got set up and tricked because she went to have her hair done. Yeah, that's ridiculous. This is fraud. 10% of reported COVID-19 deaths for those under 35, as reported by the CDC, are due to poisoning, trauma, and unintentional injuries. I believe I read that one over on jobiewellsnews.com. Breaking. New Hampshire man arrested for voting twice in 2016 election after Project Veritas presents evidence to Attorney General's office. Giveaway. A special gun owners for Trump hat. Just pay shipping and handling. Videographer discovers Portland Antifa war camp where notable anarchists like Trumpet Man reside is immediately set upon by slingshots. Yeah, Antifa's just so peaceful. Hundreds of supporters line up in the rain several hours ahead of President Trump's Pennsylvania rally. Oh, wait till you hear this one. Wait till you hear this one. Participant at Biden event in Kenosha spills the beans, admits she was given a paper telling her what to say. Telling her what to say, huh? Oh, boy. Biden in Kenosha starts to rant about raising taxes, then catches himself. Not going to lay it out for you because they'll shoot me. Huh? Oh, boy. Watch. Major Williams demands major change while running for California governor. One lone Biden supporter shows up to Kenosha for old Joe's visit. One supporter. U.S. divorce rates, depression soar amid COVID-19 pandemic. That's sad. Secret Service inadvertently confirms Gateway Pundit's story about Biden sexually assaulting agent's girlfriend. Black Lives Matter protester arrested in D.C. was also at Kenosha and Portland riots. Joe Biden brushes off reporters shouting questions at him after he deplanes in Milwaukee. I think I'll end on this one. Excuse me. Biden and Harris attack police in new campaign ad as violent riots continue across America. Yeah, that's a winning strategy. Just bash the police. I mean, I don't even. I think these Democrats know that they're toast this November. But the thing is, they may try. They're probably going. Well, we know they are. They're going to try to steal the election, and I think the Patriots know exactly what their playbook is, and they're going to hold them accountable for whatever kind of voter fraud they try to perpetrate. So I think I'll end there on that note. Thank you for watching the Citizen Report. As always, I'm Jonathan Shannon. And don't forget our website as well, thecitizenreport.weebly.com. Got some good things coming down the pike for you here on the Citizen Report. Some surprises, you might say. You see this show, you see me on this webcam and, using my computer in my room and things. There's a lot of things that are happening right now for the Citizen Report, and I think you're going to like some of the things that are coming down the pike for this broadcast. So on that note, for David Heller and myself, thank you for watching as always, and have a great evening and a great weekend, Labor Day weekend that is, and I'll see you right back here again next time. God bless each and every one of you, and I'll see you right back here again next time. Have a great night, everyone.